Well, why don't you just explain it for everyone who's at home and listening?
Okay, so those of you who've been living in a cave, so there was Chris Rock came out to present Best Documentary, and so he was going through all the actors, that I imagine he was probably tight with. He even made a Shakespeare joke where he actually dropped he actually said the word Macbeth, so maybe this was a preface for all of this because you don't say Macbeth while in theatre. And so he made a joke about Javier Bardem and how because his wife was nominated along with him. So if she loses, he can't win
Yeah.
because so that was fine. And he says, "I'm praying for Will Smith to win this," and then he immediately went to Will Smith and then told, I won't repeat the joke, but it came across as making light of Jada Pinkett Smith's appearance, at her expense, because then context later came to light and all that. And then once that was
What was that
told,
context?
the context was, I forgot what the name of the disease is, but it's a disease where she has balding,
Yeah,
where
where the hair falls out, right? Yeah,
yeah, and
I forget what
so
it is as well.
so he was making light of that, and so Will Smith came up. It kind of felt
Very
like a bit for a
bizarre moment.
while. Yeah, very bizarre moment. Because I was watching it sort of like half tuned in, half tuned out, and so he came up to Chris Rock after he made the joke. I still don't know whether he actually punched him or slapped him. I can't tell. I don't think it was an
I
angle.
actually very quickly rewinded and rewatched the moment. So he goes to slap him and he connects him like in the neck sort of region. So he doesn't get him across the face and he doesn't get him across the arm. He kind of like, that's why when you're listening to it, it sounds kind of like more of a thud rather than a slap because he kind of misses and hits him in this sort of region. I thought it was so strange. Like, because when he walked up, I was like, oh, okay, this is like a rehearsed bit. Oh, this is going to be some sort of funny interaction. And then he like swung and I thought he missed him at first. But then it it was kind of like a oh shit moment. Once he sat back down and then like started dropping F-bombs, that's when I knew it was serious because the fact that the F-bombs made it through to air. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I was like I was so confused because see, this is the thing, right? And it kind of gives you context with Will Smith's acceptance speech when he did win the Best Actor for playing Richard King in King Richard. That happened later in the ceremony. So what he talked about was how protecting his family is so important to him. And that was what drove him to be so engrossed in that character in that movie. But in saying that, Chris Rock is up there. And anyone who knows who Chris Rock is that he's been a comedian in the business delivering killer jokes for such a long time. And whether you like Chris Rock or you don't, he's a comedian and he has a specific job to do. And he's up there trying to, make people laugh. And with depending on what your opinion is on certain like jokes directed at people, I can understand why you would say, oh, it's in bad taste or whatever. The bottom line is he delivered a joke. It's just a joke. And then for Will Smith to actually physically go up there and then cause a level, I would say low level, a level of physical harm onto a comedian, I think is inappropriate.
Yeah. The assault, I do not condone. There's a difference between understanding something and understanding an action and condoning an action. For me, I understood why Will Smith did what he did because you are singling out, that's his wife. That's his wife who she has been through a lot. She's been very open about her health. And for Will Smith, and also he prefaced the joke by saying, I love ya. I love you before he actually made the joke to try and sort of soften the blow.
Yeah.
It's as if he knew that this was going to tick her off. So I think there's some bits there. And when Will Smith came up and slapped him, and it's similar with you because overseas, I believe the bit was actually censored when he was shouting at Chris Rock, but here in Australia, it was uncensored, so we heard the F-bombs, and
that was the unfiltered version.
Exactly. It was Australia and Japan.
It hits hard, man. Like when he like I was so like befuddled when he walked up on stage, and then when he sat back down, like it was a sort of like a you know when you go on a
Like
roll
a stud, yeah.
and it was like that sort of stomach churning moment of like, oh my god, what's going on? Yeah, it was pretty, hard hitting.
Yeah, no, it was.
Oh.
Yeah, it was that second. It was that second one where he just slowed down what he was saying, and it was just, that was the moment where like, okay, this is not a bit. This is genuine. And Chris Rock took it like a champ. You know, he was able to make make it all the way through. Yeah,
kind of spun it in a way that was somewhat comedic, and it's a testament to him and his improv ability. But that was a very intense moment of the show. And like I said, I feel like it might unfortunately take away from a lot of the positivity and the great headlines that we should be seeing. Obviously, Best Picture winner. We will get to that very soon, everyone.
Yes.
Now, before we move on to the main topic at hand being the Best Picture winner,